I am Morgan Freeman, and this is the Greg's Pastiche Comedy Podcast. The boys would really like it if you checked out their Facebook and followed them on Twitter. If you really like what you hear, then subscribe and like on their YouTube channel. If you're on the go, you can download the podcast from their SoundCloud. Thank you for listening. Coming up on the show today,
Will reveals a well-kept secret in Britain's favourite.
We talk badgers, browsers and bones in this week's Absolutely Fact.
Will takes on the ill in Will on the Sill, so just chill.
things get a bit wonky in our new feature, Who the Hell Are You?
Mr. Cooper gets his mini out in this week's news.
And we meet the not-so-fantastic four in our outro sketch. This week's show brought to you by the term Angry Pirate.
Angry pirate. When a woman is giving a man head, he pulls out a nuts in her eye. Upon doing this, she will let out some sort of grunt of disapproval, and at this point, he kicks her in the shin. This poor girl, being pissed and hurt, will hobble after your laughing ass.
Well, it's the most exciting bit of Greg's Pastiche now. It's Britain's favourite.
Woo! Waiting for this all week.
I know. So, quick run through. You probably all know the score by now, but just in case we've managed to grasp one new listener. In Britain's favourite, I read out a fact about Britain, and what Sam and Tom have to do is guess whether that fact is a fact about Great Britain or Fern Britain. Are you ready, guys? I will deduct points for anybody who says quote or sources. I will deduct points. Okay. Britain's favourite film of 2012 was Skyfall. Is that a fact about Great Britain or Fern Britain?
Favourite film of 2012. That's really hard, simply because I think it's both. In the sense of it was a huge film, and therefore, if the majority of people in Britain liked that film and chose that as their favourite, she is in Britain, so she could well have chosen it as well. Ooh.
What do you think, Tom?
It's a difficult one.
Really?
Yeah.
What other films came out in 2012?
Very few. Was Dark Knight Rises 2012 or 13?
I don't know.
12, I think.
Do we have... What are you going to go with there?
I'm going to go Great Britain. I think it's... Great Britain.
I'll go Fern Britain.
It's got to go to Sam, I'm afraid. Britain's favourite film of 2012 was Skyfall.
But does that therefore mean that Fern Britain's favourite film was Skyfall because she's part of Great Britain? And therefore... I'm not asking you to cite sources. Nothing to do with sources, I'm just...
Well, there we go. I don't care whether it was Fern Britain's favourite film or not. It was definitely Britain's favourite film. Skyfall, 2012. There we go. Let's move on.
Whoa.
This is this week's rendition of Absolutely Fact. Do. This is where I read out 3 news stories from around the world, and Will and Tom have to guess which of them are made up and which one of the 3 is absolutely fact. Story number 1. Smart as a firefox.
Right.
PC World has reported that a psychometric consulting firm gave free online IQ tests to 100,000 people and then plotted the scores against the browser on which the tests were taken. It found that Internet Explorer users scored lower than average, while Chrome, Firefox and Safari users were slightly above, and Opera users came out on top. The study showed a substantial relationship between an individual's cognitive ability and their choice of web browser, the study concluded. From the test results, it is a clear indication that individuals on the lower side of the IQ scale tend to resist a change or upgrade of their browsers. But if you ever want to argue that Internet Explorer users are too stupid to upgrade, at least now you've got some empirical evidence. Smart as a Firefox. Story number 2, hold your thoughts. Stop badgering me.
Oh, God.
A man has been arrested in Somerset after attacking a group of farmers whilst dressed as a badger as a form of protest against the badger cull. The man, who is yet to be named by police, allegedly hid in a bush and then jumped out on the farmers as they walked past. He knocked one man to the ground, hit another in the face before trying to flee the scene. One of the farmers managed to wrestle the giant badger to the ground and pin him while they called the police, who arrested the man on sight. He's since been charged with trespass and 2 counts of aggravated assault. Environment Secretary Owen Paterson said it's sad that people will go to such lengths to stop something that ultimately will save animals and help the environment. Hold your thoughts, last one. Mice Krispies, in brackets, snap, crackle and what? A woman's breakfast was ruined after she reportedly found a mouse bone while eating her cereal. Unfortunately for Shay Bowman-Smead, she didn't realise the alleged rodent femur was in her food until she'd finished most of it. As I was taking a drink, I noticed something long in there, she said. It was not shaped like the cereal, and I thought, there's absolutely no way. Bowman-Smead from Eugene, Oregon, got in touch with Life cereal makers Quaker and claimed a representative from the firm said they were sorry about what had happened. They organised for another box to be delivered to her house and told her to send the bone back so they could assess it. Despite the response from the food company, the 25-year-old said she was not happy and thought more should have been done. Mice Krispies. So, sum up. Smart as a Firefox. Internet Explorer users have lower IQs than Firefox users. Stop badgering me, a man arrested for attacking a group of farmers whilst dressed as a badger. Or Mice Krispies, brackets, snap, crackle and what? Woman finds a mouse bone in her cereal. Over to you.
When you finished reading the second one, I thought it was going to be really clear-cut, because the first 2 were actually really plausible. And now you've read out the third one, they all seem really plausible as stories, so this is difficult.
I've done it good.
This is difficult. What I picked up on in the second story, though, was some of the phrasing used. Like, I don't think a news report would say hitting. Like I would say they probably use more terms more like physically attack. So
maybe.
I don't know. I want to believe the first one's true because I use Mozilla. I use Firefox. So I want to believe I'm a little bit better than average.
I've never used Opera.
No, so I haven't either. I didn't even know that existed.
Very intelligent.
Anyway, alright, just to clear this up quickly, I think the badger story isn't true due to the way you phrased certain things, although I'm dubious about the mouse femur in the cereal.
With the badger story, it does say a man's been arrested after attacking a group of farmers.
Could you read the name again from the Mice Krispies? In brackets, snap, crackle and what?
Snap, crackle and what? Shay Bowman-Smead.
That's a very posh name.
It is a slightly posh name.
But then Quaker's kind of...
Yeah, Life cereal is the brand. Quaker is the people who make it.
And they were from Oregon.
That's quite oddly specific, mouse femur.
But did the person know it was a mouse femur? I'm going to change now. I think that's a good call on Tom. I don't know, see? I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. What animal... No, because the reporter would have said, what did you find in it? And they would have said it was some sort of bone. So the reporter would have found out... Okay, so I couldn't... I could believe that they'd known it was a mouse femur now. I'm staying with the badgers. I'm sticking with the No.
Okay,
Why would he have attacked farmers?
Let's try and round it up. Well, because the farmers are the ones killing the badgers. Or culling the badgers.
Well, it's the government, isn't it?
Yeah, but farmers are the ones who are allowed to kill the badger on their own land.
Okay, maybe I could believe it's the badger one. This is difficult.
Will, you're going with the badger one. Tom, which one are you leaning towards?
Mice Krispies.
Mice Krispies, you think is right. So we're both ruling out that browsers have an impact on your IQ.
I don't know, because that one is simple. That one's a bit simplistic compared to the other 2. But why would it have been PC World? Would have got in touch with this company.
Well, that might just be part of marketing. If you can find out.
Good point. Okay, yeah, sticking with badgers. Definitely badgers.
You
I
think
don't care what the result is. Yeah, badgers.
Tom, you think Mice Krispies is true?
in brackets, snap, crackle, and what?
No, hang on. True. Oh,
Yeah.
Christ,
We're
this
gonna
is
find
difficult.
The one that's absolutely fact. Clues in the name.
Internet Explorer, the
You think
PC
that's
World
true?
Internet Explorer,
Smart
yeah.
Firefox. Tom,
The Rice Krispies one is just so unbelievable that it becomes believable.
which one are you going with?
Ugh.
Push you for an answer.
Oh, let's go for some variety. I'll stick with Rice Krispies.
Stick with Rice Krispies. It's a good choice.
Ah.
He's got it. Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, and what? Is completely and utterly, absolutely fact. Shay Bowman Smead, real name, did find a little mouse bone, and there is a video online which I will put on the Twitter feed.
Cool.
It's a really, really small bone, but it's definitely not a Rice Krispie.
Right, okay.
That was absolutely fact. Do.
Absolutely disgusting. Oh, I'm thrown up. How are we going to introduce this? Because this is weird. It's more detached from everything else, isn't it?
Yeah. Do we want
treat it like a sketch? It doesn't need an introduction then.
Yeah, just music fade.
Yeah. Well, a bit
Cool.
some sort of weird background talking, which I didn't do on the original.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wonder whether that's.
Yeah, so a bit
Just-
of background talking, fade into this.
Well, we'll use because
Yeah,
a bit at the end.
I used to do motivational talks for disabled people, but they just fell on deaf ears. The pinnacle point in such a career was to do a talk for the.
Sorry.
The pinnacle point in such a career was to do a talk for the Mute Society, but no matter how many times I emailed them, I never heard anything back. One time I was doing a demonstration for people recently confined to wheelchairs, trying to show them how much they could achieve with the abilities they still had. I introduced the talk with footage of wheelchair events from the Paralympics. I thought that'll get things rolling. After a talk on physical disabilities caused by accidents, a lady approached me and asked me if I knew what the likelihood was of her ever being able to walk again. I told her not very high. Well, I didn't want to give her a crutch. At another talk I did on overcoming poor eyesight, a man at the back kept standing up, flapping his arms, then sitting back down again. It was annoying at first, but eventually I turned a blind eye to it. I was meant to give a talk on Alzheimer's disease, but nobody turned up. I gave up for good when I did a talk on spinal problems. As I took to the stage, I noticed everyone was standing up, so I asked them to be seated. They said I was being insensitive, and for me, it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
We have a new feature on Greg's Pastiche. Pow! This is due to the success of the BBC series Who Do You Think You Are, which has started up recently. I've quite enjoyed. Put a little twist on it. I've come up with Who the Hell Are You? Which is where I will now describe the life of a lesser known celebrity, shall we say, and you have to tell me who it is. First clue. Born in November 1957, this former child star now resides in Lowville, New York as a veterinarian. No ideas? Not expecting any yet?
Christ.
Let that
Former
mull over
child
in your
star.
mind. Talent scouts first discovered him at 11 years old, performing at the Cleveland Playhouse Children's Theatre, and asked him to audition for a role in a sweet upcoming film. Clue number 1. Let it mull, let it mull. As a vet, he specialises in large animals, particularly horses and cattle, but no longer works with geese. Clue number 2. I think Will's got it. Let's get to the end.
I don't know what his name would be though.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to know his name,
Right,
but
okay.
you'll know who the child star was.
Okay.
Although he was offered a 3-film contract on the back of his performance, he decided to kick the acting bucket to pursue a more savoury career path. Clues numbers 3 and 4. Do you wanna guess it? There's only one clue left.
Let's hear the final clue.
Yeah, I was
Yeah?
going to say. Last clue.
This will give it away.
Oh, well, can I don't know.
Go on, let me do it.
Okay.
He now lives a quiet rural life away from the public eye where his rivers run with water and his wallpaper.
It's the kid from the Gene Wilder version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It's
the
original
little Charlie
Bucket, Mr. Peter Ostrom. The original Charlie from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in 1971.
Bloody hell.
Now is a large animal veterinarian in New York.
Ah. As soon as you said sweet film deal or something like that,
Yeah,
I was
sweet
like,
upcoming film.
yeah.
Yeah, there was this thing I read online, like former child stars, where are they now? And he popped up. I didn't recognise him at all. He's got a big moustache now, shaved head. He's all a bit odd looking. Who the hell's that? Click to the next thing, and it's Charlie Bucket.
Bloody hell.
And apparently it's because after the filming of the film, some relatives of his bought a horse. And so he just used to go around and help look after it and pet it, and he just really got into it and thought, that's it, I'm going to go and be a vet. He thought stuff acting, didn't like it, wasn't his thing. Went off, went to university, did veterinarianship.
I don't know.
Vet studies, and became a large animal veterinarian, so horses, cattle,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Good on him. Good on him.
And he still occasionally goes into schools and stuff. And although they're meant to be talks on becoming vets,
Yeah.
career talks like that, quite often he'll say, by the way, Charlie Bucket.
Yeah.
Just say.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just got an image of Charlie Bucket with a great big moustache.
Yeah, I know.
So who the hell are you? Peter Ostrom, the original Charlie Bucket.
There we go.
Like that. Short and sweet. But it's a cool little feature.
Short and sweet.
Way.
Whoa.
News. Intense. Action. Places. In your face. Goings on. News.
So this is the news that earlier this week, a man was...
This past weekend, actually.
This past weekend, a man was arrested. Was he charged?
He was arrested.
He was arrested for indecent exposure and gross misconduct. It's not just indecent exposure,
Being
would
a
it?
tit, I think.
Yeah, he was being a bit
He's been
naughty.
given a 3-month ban from going outdoors at the weekend because
Here we go.
he was caught on CCTV having sex with a Land Rover.
Well,
Not a person, not even an animal, a Land Rover.
but it wasn't like was he deliberately trying to have sex with it? Because in my mind, the story read as though he was a bit too drunk and he was just trying to have a laugh, but it was all just a bit too far and a bit wrong.
He allegedly had his trousers round his ankles and was grinding up against a Land Rover Discovery.
Well, they are the best ones.
I just think he must have been exhausted after that.
Oh God!
Oh yeah!
Get out!
Pun number 1. There's more. Don't worry. Read a bit more of the story. The father of 3, Daniel Cooper,
Yeah, name and shame.
who's changed his name on Facebook to Daniel Hotcock Cooper.
This is after the incident,
This
though,
is
isn't it? This is
after
after
he's
the
been
incident.
arrested.
Yeah.
After the incident, as if it wasn't embarrassing enough, he's changed his name to Daniel Hotcock Cooper. Not Minnie, as we thought.
Yeah. The Land Rover probably only just parked up.
Oh, no. So if you're going to have something like that, you should own the moment. You shouldn't just try and hide from it. You should accept that it's happened and try and laugh about it.
Not when it sort of damaged your integrity so
Yeah.
massively
Well,
that
you
you're
get-
not allowed out for the next 3 months.
You're going to get pretty tired of people ripping on you.
Well, then don't do it. Like he was drunk, so he can't possibly be responsible for his own actions. He should have used a bit more control, because it does actually say that he wasn't used to drinking, and he'd had how many? It was a disappointingly low number of drinks for how drunk he appeared to be.
He told officers he was not used to drinking and had gone out with only £13.
Oh
in
yeah,
his
it's
pocket,
there we go.
Which, yeah, you can't.
You can't get that
You
drunk.
can't get that bad on that
No.
amount of money.
That's
You
about
really can't.
3 double whiskies
It's,
at strongest.
his lawyer has said, my client is mortified and totally ashamed. He cannot recall what had occurred.
No, he doesn't need to. There's CCTV footage of it.
He's apparently that was his defence originally, and then the police just played the tape. Oh, that Land Rover. Oh, yeah, well, I've got to feel sorry for him, Mike, because I think there's been a big misunderstanding, if I'm honest. I think he just noticed that the car had a flat tyre and was just giving it a jack.
Oh, God alive. Oh, that's disgusting.
No, okay, I mean...
It does carry on, though, this story, doesn't it? He didn't just have sex with a Land Rover. He walked into a kebab shop, grinded with the corner of a kebab counter, and also made... He
was seen to enter a kebab shop where he was simulating the sex act against the corner of the counter. At one stage, he lay on the ground and simulated the same sex act. He then did the same to a Land Rover Discovery vehicle parked nearby.
Yeah. So he had sex with a kebab counter, sex with kebab floor, and sex with a Land Rover. One thing you can say about him, he likes it dirty.
I mean, to be fair, there's quite a lot of people in the world who fantasize about threesomes. That's quite a common thing. But a 4x4 I mean, that's never come into my head. I mean, good on him, he's trying these things. You can just picture the scene. I'll go into my descriptive mode.
I'm not sure I want to.
It's dark. He's lonely. He's feeling like he needs a bit of company. There she is. Good body. Nice bumper. Great set of headlights. All he can think about is sticking his key in the ignition, popping the clutch and driving her all night. Can't blame him. You really can't. Although, on a serious note, the Land Rover in question has been tested and has been found to be HGV positive. So it's not all giggles. Safe sex.
Always wear a seatbelt.
He's a Cooper of Springfield Holywell. He had to be Welsh. Admitted indecent exposure when he appeared at Flintshire Magistrates Court. He was ordered to pay £85 as a fine, and he's been banned from going outdoors between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Friday, Saturday and Sunday for the next 3 months.
Wow. I know.
Although on the Sunday after that, he's going to go mental. There'll be all sorts. There'll be Bentleys parked outside and everything. Daniel Hotcock Cooper.
I want to know what he bought for 13 quid to go that drunk. That's a cheap night out.
I've got to love his friends. The quotes from them. One of his pals said, Daniel will never live this down. Everyone is saying he's tired and exhausted afterwards. He's not a pretty sight when naked. We all felt sorry for the Land Rover and hope it wasn't offended.
Isn't he a caring family man?
Described as a caring family man.
Bollocks. All over the Land Rover.
Yeah. Well, apparently before this, I haven't got it here, but I read it, he was walking down the street with trousers round his ankles and his shirt up over his head, waving at traffic. Waving what? I'm not sure.
Gross.
Yeah, so Daniel Hotcock Cooper, you're a pleb, but thank you very much. You've made us giggle. That was news.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Can't get out, and it's getting very warm indeed.
Quickly, for God's sake! There's not much time before the whole lot comes down!
Have no fear, Captain Silver is here. I'll have you out in a jiffy. Firstly, I'll cover you in a cocoon of my healing silver spray, then I'll break down a wall and fly you out of there. Thank you, Captain Silver.
I heard someone was in a crisis.
It's gold dust!
Oh, for Christ's sake, I've got this, gold dust, really.
Nonsense! This is a one superhero job, and I'm just the superhero to do it. I'll bring down a ray of golden sunshine from the heavens above to lift these people out of their predicament.
Well, just do it quick, please. We're starting to get licked here.
I better get you guys out of there.
Platinum Man?
Here we go.
This will be no problem for me and my sidekick, Adamantium Boy.
Isn't adamantium stronger than platinum?
They're incomparable, really. Adamantium is a fictitious metal invented by Marvel Comics.
Stand back, household fire victims. I'm coming in.
Hang a bang, mate. Just have a butcher's at this.
It's Diamond Geezer, ladies and gentlemen.
Diamond Geezer?
Diamond Geezer?
Oh, I'm so behind on my quota.
Right here, what you got here is a Class A balls up. Left the electric blanket on, darling. Forgot you was cooking yourself a midnight feast.
Actually, I'm a pyromaniac, but please don't tell the insurers what we could do with the money.
No worries, no worries. Right then, tell you what I can do. I've got a lovely handheld fire extinguisher here. Usually 75, but for you, madam, 43. How's about that?
Oh, that's a bit expensive.
Tell you what, I'll throw in a bucket of water too.
Well, there's a lot of fire going on in here.
Well, you'd be looking at top of the range fire engines at that point, and they don't come cheap. Start around 54,000.
I could have had them both out by now and put out the fire. I guess we haven't really got a choice.
Alright, sign on the dot. Here we go. Up the ladder, lads. They're both in the front bedroom. Wonder what they was doing in there, eh? Nudge, nudge.
Setting fire to things. Yeah. We're safe. Thank you, Diamond Geezer. But he didn't do anything. He did more than you. You're always trying to get other people down.